What's up, folks? How are you doing? Welcome back to Football Digest. This is episode number 2 of 1920 footballing season. And like I told you earlier, I'm going to be talking about what happened over the weekend. I've been wanting to do this for a while, since Monday, but, lots of stuff going on. But that's what it is. So on Saturday, actually the Premier League kicked off on Friday. We saw Liverpool dismantling Norwich City. I gotta say, like I said on was it on Saturday or Sunday? It was a very decent performance from Liverpool. Of course, they are setting the benchmark of how teams which want to contend for the title should be playing, and they beat Norwich in style. And despite all that, I gotta give it up to Norwich, because they did put in a fight. Walicheza poa, hata kama walinyorosha bao nne. You still feel, they still did manage to get a goal. That is quite something, if you ask me. So it was a very fantastic performance from Liverpool. Norwich, I feel, like I said, it's a team that is not going to be any pushover. It's a team that moving forward, if they can build up on how they played against Liverpool, despite Liverpool being the juggernauts of Europe, they can get something this season. They have fantastic players. They have a good striker, Pukki. Pukki actually got 29 goals last season in the championship. Now, I know it's championship, but still, you got to give it up for 29 goals. That is quite something. I said their fullbacks, they are super good. They have really good fullbacks. So yeah, Norwich moving forward, I think it's a very enticing prospect. But that's what it is. They met the European juggernauts in form of Liverpool, and Liverpool with Salah, Mane, Firmino. They were just something else. And they did set the pace of the Premier League. And on Saturday, the early kickoff, of course, was the defending champions. They just continued from where Liverpool left, and just like a show of might. Like Liverpool mekanyanga wase baone situ wako zile za god damn, relax. I'm going to show you how champions start a Premier League season, and they did so in style. 5-0 against West Ham. A West Ham side that I thought, honestly speaking, was kind of going to put in something, like wapatie pressure kidogo, considering the guys they have the likes of Sebastian Ella, a guy who was saying he was feeling shitty that he's going to be starting his Premier League season with a game against Manchester City. It doesn't get worse than that. So, and it didn't get worse than that, because they got beat 5-0. He didn't score a goal. I honestly felt like West Ham did not totally capitalize on Sebastian Ella, because, he's really tall. And, maybe they should have banked more on getting accurate crosses all the way to him. But, they never got the ball, so they never got a chance to put in crosses like they should have wanted. But, you got to give it up to Sterling, Maze. Now, Sterling is one of the biggest stars in the Premier League right now. He started off with a hat-trick. He's obviously the top scorer right now. And he did win points. A lot of points for FPL. Wasamegula points kibao sana na And I wanted to put Sterling in my FPL squad. I did. I honestly did. But sijui ni nini nilikuwa nafikiria maze, and I've paid dearly for this shit. I was honestly thinking like Bernardo Silva will start. I did not see Riyad Mahrez starting. I was actually shocked. Jamaa imetoka juzi kuchukua Africa Cup of Nations na Algeria, then all of a sudden he's starting the first game of the season when the likes of Mane cannot start, when the likes of Pepe ubatu walimaliza nini kitambo, they cannot start, but Mahrez did start, and boy did he put in a shift. I was honestly shocked, and he played like the whole 3/4 of the game. Bernardo Silva never tested the pitch that day, and out of that I paid dearly for having Bernardo Silva in my squad. I still feel, because I can't activate my wild card right now, I still feel like Bernardo Silva is gonna win me some great points this season. So I'm not getting rid of him yet. Nitakaka na ye. Paul Shira is saying, I'm here, welcome bro. Nilipia sana kutokuwa na Sterling kwa squad, and I feel like when I activate my wild card, which is not very far from now, I was telling some guy, nikicheza, if you play FPL, acha nikushow venye mid yangu itakuwa. Nitakuwa nacheza na Pepe, Son is still out for Tottenham, is still out in the next game week, but itakuwa Pepe, Son, Silva, Salah, and I'll be home and dry. I do not want anything more. Yes, Paul Shire is saying rotate Salah and Sterling as captain. Absolutely. Hii kitu ya kuwa na Salah na Sterling kwa squad ni noma sana. It's very good. But of course, those are the two highest players for FPL right now. So once you have them, you're going to sacrifice something. Maybe it's having shitty defenders or just having one decent striker. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. So that's what it is. Then on Saturday, of course, like I said, we had City taking on West Ham. They did beat them. After that, we had 4 games at 5 o'clock. We had Crystal Palace hosting Everton. That was going to be tight for sure. We were looking forward to seeing the likes of Zaha. They did come in the second half. Everton, of course, they bought a plethora of players, but we're going to be maybe checking them out in maybe the 5th game week or, something of the sort. The likes of Iwobi, Moise Kean, Gbamin, who else? They bought, I think 5 players. So we're going to be seeing them then. Crystal Palace, you cannot give it up to them, by the way. They were really hanging on the thread. Hanging. Kabisa. They almost drowned in that game. But, they did hang in there. Of course, their defense was astute. You got to give it up to the likes of, who's their number 1 goalkeeper? Is it Hennessy? He did really good. And, of course, that game ended 0-0, unfortunately. There's nothing more boring than a 0-0 draw. Then, of course, at also 5 o'clock, we had Bournemouth hosting Sheffield United. Now, I know so many people had Bournemouth players in the FPL squads because tulikuwa tunaona Bournemouth wataua vijana ametoka sijui wapi. Vijana amepromotiwa kutoka championship. I honestly thought Bournemouth was going to crush those guys, but they did not, and they did stay for a long period in that game before finding the back of the net. They found the back of the net in the second half. And of course, you got to give it up to Sheffield also because they did equalize. They did not get beat. That was very interesting from a team that was promoted and from a team that, when you're promoted and you're starting your first game, I think the one thing you don't want to do is get beat. So even if you get a point, that is quite amazing for you. And especially for Sheffield, you get a point against a team like Bournemouth that was very prolific last season. That is absolutely amazing for them. So hapo walifanya kazi fiti. Moving forward tutakuwa tunacheki, especially now they're going to be playing the next game at home. Sikumbuki wanacheza na nani. I'll be doing a preview of weekend fixtures maybe on Friday or tomorrow. But yeah, Sheffield itakuwa another interesting. They honestly play good. Their gameplay is good. It's all right. But of course wakipatana majuggernauts hapo ndipo tutajua mbivu na mbichi. Alright, Ranto Kelvin is saying, let me say, Polish is saying, I'll be patient with Bernardo Silva as I was with Walker last season. Oh, ulikuwa na Kyle Walker. Another guy. There's this guy called Kyle Walker-Peters wa Tottenham. I don't even know one is aware of him. I don't know. I hope he starts the next game. Because Bazes Wezi activate wild card yangu mazena game week 2. That would be too early. Itakuwa premature. So yeah, I will also be patient with Bernardo Silva. I have no choice actually. Ranto Kelvin is saying that Crystal Palace versus Everton will be lit as fuck. Oh, it will be a game to look forward to. Game isha happened, boss. Crystal Palace versus Everton, it was happening on Saturday. Go down Sato. So Bournemouth, Sheffield, of course, 1-1 final score. You gotta give it up to Sheffield. Bournemouth, they will feel hard done, drawing at home, losing 2 points against a team that was promoted. Not the way you want to start your Premier League. We also had at 5. Which other game did we have at 5? Crystal Palace, Everton, Bournemouth, Sheffield. We had Watford versus Brighton. Now I gotta tell you, I don't know about you, but for me, this was the biggest disappointment of the weekend. Watford getting beat by Brighton. I mean, who would have ever thought of it? And not just get beat, but get beat 3-0 over 2. Over 2.5 at home, Buddha. Okay, na Watford comes to tunajuana. Getting beat at home by Brighton. Timu iliponyoka chupu kutoka relegation last season. And then coming and beating you 3-0. Oh, Watford will be going nuts about this. And for me, that was the biggest disappointment and also had the biggest surprise. And I gotta tell you, if you look at Brighton, wase wenye walisign, they seem like very decent players. Akina Neil Mopi, they walisign akina Adam Webster. Wase bado hawajacheza. They seem like a very interesting prospect moving forward. I'll be keeping an eye on them, especially the next game that they're playing. I think they're playing at home. Okay, I don't have the next weekend fixtures on my fingertips, unfortunately. But yeah, Brighton, of course, they did pull a first one. So yeah, that was absolutely shocking. Gidua is saying Blues wanaokota L, wanakula L. Like 3-1 to Liverpool. Yeah. Actually, I've just seen the lineup. They have Chelsea wamechange, by the way. Wameka Jorginho, Kante mid, alafu wameka Pulisic, Kovacic, and Pedro. And then who is striking? Giroud. So it's gonna be a different ball game, I'm sure. I'm sure ataki kuokota bao tena. I'm so goddamn sure. Lampard doesn't want such a beating. I'm so sure of it. And if you look at Liverpool, America, Firmino bench, so they have their striking three is actually Oxlade, Salah as a striker, and Mane on the other wing. I'm sure they're trying out something different. It's going to be interesting. And they don't have Alexander-Arnold, by the way, on the right back. They have Joe Gomez. So I don't know. Maybe you want to choose a 3 or something, because they also have Milner. It's quite interesting. I'll check 2 games when it go down. It's less than an hour actually to go, so it's going to be interesting. Then the 4th game that was played on Saturday at 5 o'clock was which one? Jesus, why am I forgetting these games? Let me see. Before Aston Villa, we had Bournemouth, Sheffield, Crystal Palace, Everton, Watford, Brighton. Which other team is left? Because it's not Wolves. Nimesahau shit. I can't. Which other game was being played at 5 o'clock on Saturday? I can't recall this. I'm sorry. I can't. Damn. I can't remember. I can't remember the other game that was being played at 5 o'clock. I cannot remember. Wolves. Leicester. I'm trying to remember. Mtu anikumbushe manze. The game at 5 o'clock. Because there were 4 games. I've talked about 3. I've talked about Watford, Brighton. I've talked about Crystal Palace, Everton. I've talked about Bournemouth, Sheffield. Southampton versus Burnley. Yes! Or rather, Burnley versus Southampton. And boy, did Burnley start off with a bang. They won 3-0. And unfortunately, that's the team that Arsenal is going to be facing next. So yeah. It's quite tricky hapo manzi, but Burnley, you gotta give it up to them. The likes of Ashley Barnes, they banged the brace, and of course Gudmundsson, he banged us a very fantastic goal, and I feel like after we're done with Burnley, I think I would get Gudmundsson in my team. He's good. On his day he's honestly good. So nimse nitakuwa naangalia moving forward, but Burnley versus Soton were beat a good one, and the next game, unfortunately for them, they're going to be playing against Liverpool on Saturday. Hapo ni ngori mbaya, hapo wana bahati. So the last game, of course, was Aston Villa versus going all the way to Tottenham Stadium versus Tottenham Hotspur. Harry Kane banging a brace. They actually Aston Villa scored first, and they are playing really well. Actually, those teams that have been promoted, you'd think like they are pushovers. Utu team jo, ukipatana na atu on a bad day na ucheze ufala, atakunyorosha. They are the first one. Aston Villa was the first one to score versus Tottenham. And if it was not for Jack Grealish, the mistake that he did and the blunder, which was uncalled for, that game would have been a tad different, but you gotta give it up to Tottenham. At the end of the day, they did get the 3 points. Harry Kane did bang a brace. That's equals to numerous points. Kule FPL. So definitely Aston Villa. For me, I'm totally interested in watching these new teams, the 3 teams, Sheffield, Norwich, and Aston Villa. I'm interested in watching them play. Actually, I did not watch the Tottenham versus Aston Villa game entirely. Like the whole game. I didn't watch the whole game. I had to catch up with the highlights. But you gotta give that to Aston Villa. You gotta give it up to them. They have decent midfielders. They seem like they have a guy who, when supplied with the ball at the right position, striking wise, he can convert chances. So yeah, they're interesting teams moving forward. And that was all that happened on Saturday. Alright. And then we had on Sunday, Super Sunday to be precise, we had the first games being played at 4 o'clock. We had Leicester hosting Wolves. A game that actually had a goal that was cut off with the new rule. The handball thing. Like if you score a goal and it came off the handball, no matter how accidental it was, it's going to be chopped off. And that is exactly what happened to Wolves. They had scored a goal, but after VAR, ikaonekana hiyo ball ilikuwa imepitia mkono ya msee, so ikakuwa chopped off. Bang! And that's how that game ended 0-0. Of course, it was going to be tied. The last time these teams did play, Leicester was beaten at home. I think, was it 3-1? And I recall Diogo Jota scored, I think, a brace, if not a hat-trick. I think he scored a brace. So, of course, Leicester did not want a repeat of that. You don't want to start off the season with a loss at home, obviously. So they did hold on to a 0-0 draw. I did not watch that game because, you know what? I was watching Arsenal hosting or being hosted by Newcastle at St. James's Park. Jesus. Cool down, nigga. At St. James's Park. And it was a very interesting game. It was definitely going to be hard. You know, Newcastle, they're starting at home. They have a new manager. They have new guys who are coming in. They're all buoyed and shit. So it was going to be interesting moving forward. It was also a very cloggy day in Newcastle. You know, like it was raining crazy. So the pitch was, you know, full of water and shit. But, you know, they did manage to play. We did manage to get the 3 points. What a finish by Aubameyang. I mean, I was so gassed after that goal, because nilikuwa nisikima say, hey, hii game kwenye kunaenda nikati tunaweza toka 0-0. And then they brought in this guy called Saint Maximin. That dude moving forward is going to trouble some teams. He looks like some serious juggernaut. Let me not call him a juggernaut, like some serious winger. He's going to cause some trouble, you know, once he gets the groove. You could clearly see he was not in the groove, you know, in that game, you know, but once he gets the groove, he's going to trouble teams. I'm sure of it. They also, Newcastle did not get away of getting Joe Linton into the game to our advantage. So, of course, he was not as lethal as he can. But, you know, Joe Linton is a good guy. He seems like he's the kind of guy who holds the ball and then lets in these other guys come in. But one guy got a single out in Newcastle who was really troublesome for us is Miguel Almiron. That jamaa alikuwa anasumbua. And I'm so goddamn sure that guy is going to be trouble this season. Almiron is atasumbua. Hiyo sina shaka. If you watch that game, there are two Newcastle guys who can say for sure this one will cause trouble somewhere along the way. One is Saint Maximin. Two, Miguel Almiron. Jamani more fire. Atasumbua mbaya. So Newcastle, of course, moving forward, they seem like they have some good guys who, if they gel well, they can cause trouble. They can absolutely cause trouble. But, you know, not to Arsenal. You know, we did not get troubled that much by them. And you know, on our side, by the way, you got to give it up to like guys like Reece Nelson. You got to give it up to guys like Joe Willock, 19 years of age, and making the Premier League debut. Well, not their debut, but, you know, starting off 1920 away at home and performing the way they did, you got to give it up to them. They did fantastic. And of course, you know, with Iwobi leaving, you get the feeling like those two guys will be getting more game time, especially maybe Joe Willock, because Reece Nelson, kule kwake kidogo, nika kumejaja. But, you know, still, he's going to be getting some good game time. I'm damn sure of it. And that is so interesting, getting young guys to get themselves into the game and get some good game time. And not only get good game time, but also play well throughout that period. So it was absolutely interesting. It was really, honestly, interesting watching it. Not just as an Arsenal fan, but, you know, even if you are a neutral fan who loves football, it's nice watching young guys beg your pardon. Young guys who are 19 years old coming in and performing the way they did. It's absolutely nice. You know, it's nice. So Arsenal won 1-0. We could not ask for more. You know why I'm content? Of course, some people be like, oh, tulishinda 2-1 against Newcastle. Wakati watu wanakulana sijui bao 4 huko, watu wanakulana sijui bao 5. That all right, you know, yeah, you can argue that way. But if you look at it this way, Arsenal last season we had only 1 away clean sheet. 1 away. I think it was the worst record ever in last season. 1 away clean sheet. And we did get to match that record, of course. Sounds weird and fucking funny, but we did match it, you know. So getting our clean sheet away from home is absolutely welcome. And especially when you consider we have some other guys who are still not coming in, who are still not there. We don't have a fast fullback. That is Bellerin. We don't, of course we have Monreal, but, you know, we have the likes of Kieran Tierney who are going to be coming back. We did not have Mesut Ozil in that game. One guy who was playing in the place of Mesut Ozil did perform absolutely poor. Henrik Mkhitaryan, sijui ni mbada boy. Boy akona sida. Akona sida huyo kijana. Sijui, I can't single it out what's the fucking problem with him, but he's got a problem. He's got a problem. So I hope he's going to sort his shit out moving forward, because, you know, we don't want to see those performances again. It was absolutely disgusting watching him make all those bad passes, one after the other. It was boring as hell. Of course, we got to see the likes of Ceballos coming in. We got to see the likes of Nicolas Pepe, who did not see that much. But one guy who was really interesting once he came on is Martinelli. He seems like some serious guy who's, he's gonna fight for his position there. He's putting in a shift. He's running all over the pitch, and not just headlessly, aimlessly. He's making very good runs. So it's gonna be interesting moving forward to see how he gels into the team. Then we had the big one, the game of the weekend, the biggest game of opening weekend of game week 1, Manchester United versus Chelsea. Whew. This was after I had said, like, Man U naona kidogo scored down. But I gotta tell you, Man U, I will not take anything away from them. They got the 3 points. It was a fantastic winning. Was it 4-0? Getting the likes of Daniel James scoring on their full debut for Manchester United. That is amazing. Premier League debut, rather. That was amazing. Chelsea, on the other hand, they had some good guys, decent guys, like Mason Mount, alikuwa acheza poa. Which other guy was playing well for Chelsea? I know one guy who was not playing really well for Chelsea, was actually playing really badly for Chelsea, and he goes by the name of Kat Zuma. Zuma Nishimo. And weirdly, he's playing today. But maybe it was just one of those days where he was just fucking poor, but he was poor. And of course, the tackle that he made for the penalty was absolutely uncalled for. There is no doubt that was a fucking penalty. Zuma made a blunder there. But you got a feel for Chelsea, man. They really played well, especially the first half. They hit the post twice. Man. But you hit the post twice. Do you see Manchester United hitting the post? Nah. Why? They were goddamn clinical. So that's the difference. And that is going to be the difference, I think, this season. If you're not clinical enough and your opponent is, man, you might just ship in some crazy goals. And especially when your defense is not well sorted out. I don't know how long it's going to be till Rudiger comes back. Maybe a Chelsea fan can tell us about this. But, if you're relying on Christensen and Kat Zuma, they got to be getting their head straight. Making rash tackles, just being straight up. And being as clinical as possible. But, I'm looking at Chelsea and, all right, they did get beat 4-0, but that team seems like a very decent team. Once they gel, one thing I can say is that they'll score goals, but the problem is that they'll also leak goals. Now, that's a fucking problem. They'll score goals, but they will leak goals also. So, Lampard akona kazi. He has his work cut out. Master Sean is saying, Chelsea walipigwa hadi tukapewa holiday Monday. Yes, I agree. Monday was so good, man. Chelsea, they did us good. You know what? I can't wait for Chelsea to be in action again. Especially on a Sunday. Ndio wapigwe ndio Monday kuwe holiday. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Davinito G. Waina. Chelsea lacked experience. Did they? Maybe attacking-wise. When you look at the likes of Tammy Abraham, maybe you could say attacking-wise they did not have the experience, but the skill and the prowess of playing football, they have it. You cannot take anything away from the likes of Mason Mount. You cannot take anything away. Who was the other guy who was playing for Chelsea? But I think Chelsea, for me, the one place they need to check it out and, just switch it up as quickly as possible is their midfield. Jorginho, Kante, maybe that's the one. And I'm thinking Lampard was a midfielder. He's now the coach. He definitely knows which combination should be playing in the mid. Because, once you get that thing wrong from the midfield, you can't get shit right. And, of course, you leave yourself, they also left themselves vulnerable to counter-attacks every time they moved forward. Like, I think the third and fourth goal was a goddamn counter-attack. When you push everyone forward because you're trying to at least get a goal and you forget to defend, that's what you pay for. You get banged, a good one. So, Chelsea moving forward, it will be a painful lesson for them. But you know what they say, you learn best through mistakes. So, maybe they learned there. Lampard did learn. And he better correct his shit quickly because, EPL ni ruthless. It's goddamn ruthless. And we all know Chelsea, they are heartless motherfuckers. Once you get beat several games, unatolewa. Na hiyo story inaisha wanatafuta mwingine. But I don't think ati Man U iko fiti hivyo, game iliwakubali. Yes, that result was honestly flattering. Si ati Man U walikuwa ati brilliant, ati walimea Chelsea tu walikuwa tu wako chini ama. No. It was a flattering result. Si ati Man U walikuwa fiti sana. But nikisema hivyo watu watasema, but tulifunga bao 4, wao walifunga bao ngapi? Yeah, but still, if you are a Man U fan and you're feeling like, tuko sawa and shit, nigga, you are so fucking wrong and you're getting fucking cocky. So it's going to be interesting moving forward. I think Man U, like, they did put their... unajua nilicheki Man U, that's the most they could have done, because your squad, that's your starting lineup. Basically, I don't think there's anyone who you can say was left out who will be a starter. Like once everyone is fit in Manchester United or at Manchester United, hakuna mse mwingine mwenye ataingia hiyo squad ilianza hiyo game mwenye hakuwa. So, if those are the guys who are starting, if you are to take one of those guys off, or even two guys, who would come in to replace them? The likes of Daniel James? I feel like for me, Manu, sijui ni mimi tu. Unajua watu watasema wewe ni fan wa Arsenal unaingilia Manu sana. No. I think Manu hawana depth. I'm thinking like, I don't think Manchester United has depth. Even if they brought in Mata, they brought in Greenwood and Daniel James. Right? The only guy who is there who you'd say is experienced and some guy who can, when push comes to shove, can stand in for someone is Mata. And after Mata, who else? Matic? After Matic, I can't think of anyone else. So Manu issue had depth kidogo. So this team, the best they can do is build that confidence from now on. Like next game wanashinda. Next game wanacheza na Wolves. Now that would be difficult as fuck. But they need to make sure like every game they do play, right now once they have everyone who is fit, once their starting lineup is fit and good to go, they need to win games. So Manu wakianza na starting lineup yao alafu waanze kupigwa ufala, that is going to be some trouble. Because once you get to Europa League and you start playing on Thursday and maybe upate injuries kidogo hapo na depth ndio hiyo hakuna. And that is why I'm saying, of all the teams that are in the top 6, I feel like Manchester United is going to be among one of them that is going to miss out the top 4 just because hawana depth. Just because of that. Maybe you can keep the whole squad fit. I don't know how you can do that. But I don't know. Maybe this is just me. Masishoni is saying, but what can I say? Ni Man U hawako form, ni venye walipata wanyonge, dawa yao inakuja Arsenal na Wolves. I don't want to take anything away from Manchester United. They were clinical. When it mattered, they scored. When they got the chances, they converted them. But if they get a more clinical side than Chelsea, they will be in some deep shit. And nakumbuka like first half when you walikuwa nacheza na walikuwa away, at one particular point I was even asking, nani wako home hapa? Ni Chelsea ama ni Man U? But it was, I think my timing, I posted that in a certain WhatsApp group and the timing was so wrong. Because no sooner had I sent that message to that group than Manchester United fucking scored. Inakuwa mbaya. Davinito G Wainaina, I think Wainaina is your name. Tukidefend poor counters itaumiza. Alright. Anasema bado wako na Fred. Yeah, they have Fred. Something else. I was watching United start. Actually, I was not watching. Okay. I know United start. I do know it. Because, like I said, we're venturing to YouTube. So we need to see guys who have done things like the ones we want to do elsewhere. And they have done it good and successfully. So United Stand is one of them, alongside the likes of Arsenal Fan TV and others. So I was on Twitter yesterday, and then I met this video of Flex. If you are United fan, most likely you watch United Stand, and definitely most likely you know about Flex. And Flex was hosting this guy called Rance, who was saying that Maguire is a leader. Maguire is vocal. He is nothing like Rio Ferdinand. Ferdinand was not a leader. I was like, whoa, what the fuck did you just say? And he was saying actually Ferdinand was not a leader. Like, he was only good but because he played alongside the likes of Vidic. I was like, you nigga, you're eating some bad shit. That is so fucking wrong, Maze. I'm not even a Man U fan, but that nigga is way out of line. Like, he's so fucking incorrect. I have never seen a Man U fan more deluded than Rance right now. He is fucking... And then what even irks me more is the fact that Flex never offered a countering opinion. Like me huwezi kuja kuniambia ati nani alikuwa shit Arsenal. Nani alikuwa mnoma uniambie. Nikao kuja uniambie ati Thierry Henry alikuwa shit. Alikuwa mnoma juu alikuwa acheza na akina Petit, alikuwa acheza na akina Pires, akina Bergkamp. What the fuck? Ama uniambia akina Sol Campbell si mnoma. Alikuwa mnoma juu alikuwa acheza na akina Kolo Toure ama hata uniambie Kolo Toure ati si mnoma. Buda. You are fucking wrong. If I host you in my channel and you say something like that, definitely I'm going to fucking disagree with you. I cannot just let you walk away with such a remark. That is so incorrect. And that is what irks me more about Flex. He never offered a countering opinion of that flat out lie. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So I was fucking irked. I mean, Maguire is good and everything, but come on. You cannot start saying Ferdinand is that he's not a leader. At Maguire. What did Maguire do that show he was a leader? I can't recall anything he did that you could say, shit, that dude is a fucking leader. And it's just one game. Yenye imechezwa. Like, are you fucking deluded? I'm so angry about that shit still. So that's what exactly transpired. So we're going to be looking to see game week 2, what is going to happen for the teams that did not win and for the teams that even won away from home. Now they'll be playing their first game at home. Do they want to entertain their fans? And how are they going to do it? Like Arsenal hosting Burnley. That's going to be tricky. Every game against Burnley is always a fucked up one. All right, we win, but damn, it's always difficult to win against Burnley. But, we're going to be looking forward to seeing that game. It's the early kickoff on Saturday. We're going to be looking to see the likes of Southampton hosting Liverpool after they got beat a good one, 3-0 away from home. Are they going to put in something different to, appease their fans and entertain them? Because that's what you're supposed to fucking do. Man City will be playing at home. So it's going to be interesting. Chelsea will be playing at home, unfortunately, versus Leicester. It's quite tricky. So all those games, I'll be talking about them later. One more thing I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the Super Cup. Super Cup is being played like some minutes from now. How many minutes, actually? Like 25 minutes from now. I don't want to talk about that. It's going to be interesting to see who exactly walks away with that one. An all-English Super Cup. I don't think it has happened before. Has it? I don't think so. So this one is going to be interesting. It seems like it's going to be a goal-laden kind of game. I want to talk about the firing of Sebastian Minye. Yes. Just a little bit. Just to share my thoughts about this, because I don't know when I'll talk about it next. Of course, Sebastian Minye was fired by FKF. And there are rumors that they're going to appoint Francis Kimanzi. So, yeah. What do you think about it? I don't know about Francis Kimanzi. Like, I don't know if he's the solution. I think the solution is more than Kimanzi. The solution may actually be on FKF or at FKF. That shit kind of needs to be sorted. I was talking to a dude today who's quite familiar with Kenyan football, and he was saying, and I'm not saying this is true, but he was saying like Sebastian Minye was getting orders from somewhere else. We all know where that place is. If you watch football and you know about Kenyan football, most likely he was talking about Nick Mwendwa. Alright? And so Sebastian Minye had no control over his team, the selection that he had. And of course, Sebastian Minye had dared FKF like a week ago to fire him. Like, you want to fire me? Fire me! You guys cannot even pay my salary. You think you can pay out my contract? I think they did not take that lightly. Now he got fired. There are rumors that he's going to be bringing in Francis Kimanzi. Francis Kimanzi has had 2 stints as the national team coach. First one was in 2008, where he did really well. Of course, that's when Kenya was ranked 68th in the world. That's the highest ranking we've ever achieved. It's a feat we had achieved, I think, in 1999 or 98. Somewhere around there, we had reached 68th on the FIFA rankings. Then we achieved it again on 2008. But, weirdly, as we were doing all that, we did not qualify for the 2008 AFCON. Neither did we qualify for the 2011. Of course, Kimanzi, I think, he was hired in December. He was acting from May 2008, and he was confirmed in December. That is fucking weird. This is like 7 months as a caretaker, and they can't goddamn confirm you. He was confirmed in December, then he was fired in January 2009. Mimi nakwambia ile shit inakuwa Kenya mazee. Yeah, crazy. So he was fired. They brought him back in 2011. 2011, of course, walikuwa in the process of doing the qualifications for the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations, and he failed. And after he failed, he was fired again. And of course, I think the first one was all about administrative issues. The first stint that he had and he was fired, it was about administrative squabbles and shit. Kenya kuna siasa mingi hadi kwa vitu kama mpira. And then of course now he's a coach. So I don't know. Do you guys think he's a solution? A guy who has been there before, he has never made us qualify for any Africa tournament. The only thing he has ever done is make Kenya go up in the rankings. But on the flip side, you could say like he has learned maybe from from Sebastian Minye. He knows one or two things he could have done when he was a coach that he didn't do before. So it's going to be interesting to see what exactly is going to happen if he is confirmed as the national team coach. It's going to be absolutely interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. No, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm just looking out for it. Just kaa tu mahali na ngoja tu nione President Kingston ama Kimanzi, like moving in, and what exactly is he going to do? That is exactly what I want to see once he's confirmed. He's not yet confirmed, but apparently he's going to be confirmed, and apparently they will be unveiling him on Friday. Yes, kesho kutwa. So I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you think about the appointment of Francis Kimanzi as the national team coach? Do you think he will hack it, or it will just be another puppet for who? And apparently being told weka huyu kwa team, toa huyu kwa team, huyu mweke kwa squad, usijui nini. Story mingi, you have no control over the team. Do you think he's a solution towards Kenyan football, or are we just fucked? Maybe as Kenya we're just fucked, footballing wise. So you can tell me that. Also, you can also share your solutions, or not solutions, your thoughts on the weekend action. Which one was the biggest disappointment for you and biggest surprise for all the action that happened then? All right, that's it. Don't forget, you can always check us out on YouTube. Our YouTube is called channel is called Football Digest KE. All right, that's it. I think I'm done here. Unless anyone has a question, which I don't think there is. So I'm gonna be leaving you. Niende nione hii game ya Chelsea itakuwaje. Have a good night, folks. Enjoy. Oh, Morocco is saying that's total BS. Minya was the guy we needed. Kina Sharks owner waende nyumbani. Minya did something. Only one guy. Of course, there's this whole issue of foreign coaches. They are not all that. We can, hire in local coaches, local guys who can come in and put in a shift. But apart from Ghost Mule, there's no other guy who has ever taken Kenya to the Africa Cup of Nations. I mean, I can't remember. In the foreseeable past or history. Is it foreseeable history or whatever that? You know what I'm talking about. So there's no other guy who has ever taken Kenya to the Africa Cup of Nations. But apart from Ghost Mule and now Sebastian Minye, and now he's fired. And there's all these accusations of he was being controlled, and he was being told, put this guy in the team, and put this other guy on the team. What difference is going to be there when Kimanzi comes in? And these two guys actually speak the same language. So I don't know. You, like I said, you tell me. Do you think Kimanzi is a solution, or is FKF just fucked up, and do they need to up their game and up their tempo? Just let the coach be. All right, you choose guys, and the team performs. If it doesn't, and you did choose, now we can ask you some questions. All right. There was also the issue of Sebastian Minye does not go to check out grassroots football, and just checking out how these small and young guys are performing. There's that accusation. I don't know entirely how correct it is or how incorrect it is, but it's an accusation. So Sebastian Minye is gone. We just hope whoever comes in is going to put in a better performance than Sebastian Minye. So I don't know. Babito John, leo mnakula ngapi buda? Mnakula ngapi? There's nothing I love trolling more. There's nothing I love more than trolling fans, especially wa team kama Chelsea, Man U. Na wenye najua, unajua watu wengine hawajui kutrolliwa ni nini. So John, mnakula Super Cup au nini? Ama ni kichapo kingine cha mbwa? I don't know. But anyway, you're going to be checking out that game. It's 17 minutes away. That's all I have, folks. Have a good night.